Hey everyone! Today I'm gonna take you with me through my bookshelf. I'm gonna be showing you some of the things that we really enjoy. This was requested by a wonderful mother, and I hope that this will be a blessing for you. Join me. Hey, I'm Monique, a pediatrician turned homeschool mom and keeper of my home. Here I love to share family, health, home, and sustainability tips that will help to provide us with the skills and know-how that we all need to uplift and equip ourselves. The more we know, the more we will be sustainable. Okay, I'm going to take you through some of the things that we have used and enjoyed. Now, this is just a sampling of things. Always remember, whatever materials we use, to take some time to look through them before we hand them out to our children to read. Some of them I have gone through and some of them I have not gone through. So it's so very important for each of us to take a moment to be discerning, looking through all the things that we provide to our children. For example, I noticed some books discuss holidays that we don't celebrate. So I will use this as an opportunity when I find them to explain why and provide Bible scriptures for the children to support the reasons for our walk. But I just wanted to give you some samples of what I have, the things that we have read, and then there are those in progress. Okay, so the first of what we have is the Christian Liberty Nature Reader. These are nice for the children after they kind of have a good grasp of reading. It goes over many insects and talks about details within their specific day, what they do, and then it has review questions. Also some beautiful illustrations. Not a lot on the page, which I really appreciate. Just beautiful pictures and then the words to go along with each of the things discussed. There's a whole series of these. Right now we have books 1 through 5, and there's also a lower level for the earlier reader that goes through A through Z information. We also have some of the classic starts books. We do like these, of course, again, being selective with the ones you choose. These are easy to read, and my children, especially my upper grade learners, have enjoyed them. It's also hardback, so I really do appreciate that because they will last quite a while. We also have some classics like The Trumpet of the Swan. We have Stuart Little. We also really enjoy reading about history. History is so important for us to know because it helps us to have an understanding of even the things to occur, because history does oftentimes repeat itself. So we have here Wilbur and Orville Wright, Helen Keller, Jesse Owens, Elizabeth Blackwell. These are also very nice. They come from the Childhood of Famous American series. There are some illustrations in each of them, so that makes it enjoyable for the children, but not overwhelming in terms of color and bold illustrations. It's just a relaxing read. So we do enjoy these. We also really appreciate the Little Pilgrim's Progress. I tailored it, as you can see, because there was an illustration here that could be a little bit scary for an early learner. So I fixed it up so that it would be appropriate for the little ones. This comes from John Bunyan's classic Pilgrim's Progress. If you haven't read that yet, please do. It demonstrates much spiritual insight, symbolism about the journey that we are all on as pilgrims on this earth. Next up, we have a few of the series of the Christian Heroes Then and Now series. These are very good. They talk about the missionary lives of many of the men and women that have gone before us, sacrificing their time and lives to bring the word of the Father to many people. So these are also good to have. These are a little bit more difficult in the reading level. Not any pictures, so this would be for your upper to mid-level reader. With these, I'm going to actually read them to my children because some of the detail and information can be a little strong to understand because of the difficulties that these Christian heroes faced. So I think it would be great if you took the time to read through with them. And then if you have older learners and you feel comfortable having them to read them on their own, then you can do it that way. The next one we have is another series of books. It goes a little bit under in terms of age group. This is the Heroes for Young Readers series. So this one will have some illustrations present. Of course, easier language to understand. Another thing that I would do with this one is the same, reading through with my students just in case there are strong things, strong topics that are a part of a missionary's life at times but need to be explained well so that your little learners can feel comfortable and understand. Next one is also another series which I do enjoy. This one is the Christian biographies for young readers. Also about John Bunyan. This one is illustrated too. It really goes deeply into history, talking about the person that we're reading about, really delving into their biography. Beautiful painted illustrations. Still another that I would say I would read through with my children. And honestly, reading through together is quite enjoyable because you're also gaining all the rich insight and beauty from these books as well. Okay, going down, we have another of these series. This is the Trailblazers series. A little bit more for the older child. I would say junior high to high school, talking about missionaries, the difficulties they have faced. Another good series to look through. Now we're getting into some of the younger series. I do enjoy collecting the treasuries of books. This is the HarperCollins Treasury Picture Book Classics. I always like to have the treasuries in one spot. Makes it easy to have everything that you need in one. Hardcover, so a very nice find. And then I'm just gonna skim through a few. We really do like reading about history, so when we can find those that are geared toward little learners, we enjoy them. This is about the Wright brothers and how they invented the airplane. It has photographs in there, real images, so those are always nice to mix in too, in comparison to the illustrations. Okay, going through, many of us know about the Biscuit book series. This one I like because the stories are simple, the illustrations are very beautiful, simple, easy on your eyes, not too much going on, as you can see, and that really makes the book beautiful. This would be for your reader that has gone a little bit farther than just your simple words. As you can see, the words have become a little bit more challenging. This would be good, for example, after you've gone through the McGuffey's Eclectic Primer and now you're going into the Pictorial Primer. If you can add this in somewhere in the midway, or depending upon your students' abilities, this would be nice. Just to add another additional story. They should be reading stories too as you're going along. Here's another about nature with beautiful images. Another good one to pair for a unit study. It's called A Butterfly is Patient. I did find a little treasure here. It talks about a family that homeschools. You don't often find that in books, so I thought this was so nice to have. I found this shortly after we started homeschooling. It's called This Is My Home, This Is My School. We also have some character books. This is a series, Good News for Little Hearts. There's 2 of these that we have at the moment that I could find. It's called One, Tori Comes Out of Her Shell, and Henry Says Goodbye. More in terms of character, we have the Otter Bee series. These stickers, by the way, mean we have read through the book and it's different based on who has read it. So these are talking about different characters: honesty, being helpful, trustworthy, kind, and taking turns. This was a very good book. It's called Heart and Soul, the story of America and African Americans. I particularly like this author's illustrations and the way he tells the story. They are just really amazing illustrations. And the content was very good. It wasn't too over the top in terms of difficulty in reading with regards to the topics and the subjects, even though they were difficult. It was a very, very good find. We also like this one. It's called Windows on the World, that talks about all the different places across the world and how we can be praying for them as Christians. For those people that don't know the Father as yet, what we can do to help and pray, and much specific details about the way they live and different things about their culture. This one is good to pair with geography if you're doing any studies across the world. We also have the Rod and Staff readers. These go along with teachers' manuals, sometimes workbooks and tests, So you can really go extensively, but we honestly just enjoy them. They are very good with regards to character building, honesty, truth, trustworthiness, touching upon the things of God for children in a way they can manage. So I'm taking you through the grade 1 reader. These will have some illustrations. The words are a little bit more complex, so it's not your first level reader, but this is a good book to build upon. This one looks like it's actually the third one. I'll take you to one of the first ones. This is First Steps, so this would be one of the earlier readers, also with illustrations. Okay. And then we have these. Those, by the way, were pathway books. And these were the ones from Rod and Staff, I meant to say. Also readers based on grade level. No illustrations in this one, but very, very rich stories. We haven't read through all of these yet, but so far, so good. And we're getting to the last of what I had to show you today. These are called the character sketches. They have volumes 1 to 3, and it's called Character Sketches from the Pages of Scripture, illustrated in the world of nature. Very beautiful books. I'll show you. It comes in its own case, hardback copy, well made. It goes into many of the Bible stories and then relates it to specific good and whole characters that we can even find in the creatures God has created. The illustrations are also beautiful, and it's very nice to read together as a family. I hope that this has been helpful for you. This is just a small glimmer of what we have, the things that I feel we have really enjoyed. Some of them are top picks from some of my learners. And remember, whatever you put forth before your children, try and take some time to read through to make sure you are discerning if they are good and proper for them at their specific level and time. So even if the book could be good and giving us rich information, we want to make sure that it is appropriate for their specific time and level. I will see you again, and I hope that this was helpful for you. If you have any good books, collections, or treasuries, share them so that it can be a blessing for many others. I'll see you soon.